Hello everyone, I welcome you all under course Structural Mechanics 2 and we are discussing about Module 1 Analysis of Presses using Unit Load Method, and this is lecture 5 regarding the same, and we will be going further with numerical 5 in this discussion. The statement of the numerical is something like this: analyze the pin jointed frame as shown in the figure 5 and find the first part is internal member forces due to applied loads, and the second part of the numerical is vertical deflection at joint C of that particular truss. And for all members it is given that area of cross section is 800 millimeter square and Young's modulus is 200 gigapascal. So diagram is something like this. So what we need initially to find is what is the degree of static indeterminacy of this particular structure. So degree of static indeterminacy has in two parts, that is internal indeterminacy and external indeterminacy. So DSE, which is external indeterminacy, is related to reactions. So that is R minus 3, because we have three equations of equilibrium in case of plane structures. So that in this particular case, over here, support A is hinge support and support D is roller support. So we will be having three different reactions and three equations we have. So R minus 3, that is 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. So this is externally determinate structure. However, if we go through internal static indeterminacy, it is related to the number of members and number of joints, and the equation that we have discussed earlier, that is dSi is equal to m minus 2j minus 3. So number of members, if you go through this particular structure, the total number of members are 6 and joints, number of joints are 4. So if we calculate this 6 minus this 2j minus 3, it is 2 into 4 minus 3. So that is 6 minus 10, so is equal to 1. So internally the static indeterminacy is 1. And then total degree of static indeterminacy, which is DSE plus DSI, that is external plus internal, that gives us 1. So as this is internal indeterminacy, one of the members is required to be removed to create a basic determinate structure. Hence, member AC is removed from the structure as shown in figure 5a. So whatsoever this diagram is. Okay. Now you can remove any member. For this example, I have removed the member AC, which is the inclined member over here. Okay. One can start like cutting BD and considering that as to convert basic determinate structure. So we will be going for further analysis with this structure, which is called as basic determinate structure. So reactions at supports in basic determinate structure can be obtained by using static equilibrium equation that you are aware about it. So if that member AC is removed and the externally applied forces are as it is, you need to calculate reactions at the supports. So if we apply summation m about A equal to 0 at this support, summation of movement of all the forces at this joint equal to 0, then for this force 10 kilonewton horizontal force acting at joint B, movement of that will be 10 into 4 about support A. And again this 25 kilonewton force, which is vertically downward at B, that is passing through joint A itself. So movement of that about A will be 0. So it is not written over here. Due to 25 kilonewton vertically downward force acting at joint C, the movement about A will be 25 into 3 meter. That is distance between that force and that joint A. So that gives 25 into 3. And again 10 kilonewton force is applied at joint C, which is horizontal. So due to that 10 kilonewton force, the movement at support A will be 10 into again 4, perpendicular distance between that. So these are the forces and movement due to the forces, and due to reaction at D, the movement of that will be say VD is the reaction at D, vertical reaction, and due to that moment will be BD into 3. And due to externally applied forces, the movement is clockwise, it is written as plus, and due to reaction it is anti-clockwise, so it is written as minus. And summation of all these movements must be equal to 0 for equilibrium. Hence, if we calculate with this equation VD, that is vertical reaction at joint D, that is support at D, that gives us 51.67 kilonewton. So, if we go further with summation Fy equal to 0. So what we have is two reactions are there, Va plus Vd, and two forces are there, 25 kilonewton force at joint B and 25 kilonewton force acting at joint C. So that is written as minus 25 for downward force at B. Similarly at C it is minus 25, and we have reaction at D calculated as 51.67 upward. So plus 51.67. And Va, if initially we consider it as upward, so plus Va is equal to 0. So this calculation gives us vertical reaction at A as minus 1.67 kilonewton. So that is 1.67 kilonewton downward. So initially while writing this equation, we have considered it as upward, and due to calculation it is negative. So it says that it is downward reaction. So similarly, we can go for finding the horizontal reaction at joint A or at support A. So if we apply summation Fx equal to 0, now what we have, say if I am considering HA in positive x direction initially, then the equation will become this 10 force at joint B plus 10 at joint C and plus HA. This must be equal to 0. So again HA is equal to minus 20. So meaning of this minus 20 is this is not in positive x direction, this is in negative x direction. So that is 20 kilonewton acting in negative x direction. So that gives us the reactions at different supports. So after finding these reactions, we need to go further for analysis of internal member forces due to these externally applied forces as well as the reactions. So if we go through method of joints and we go for internal member forces due to externally applied forces in members of basic determinate structure, because that member AC that was removed. So considering joint A and applying summation Fx equal to 0. So what we are considering initially joint A. So if AC is removed, the members remaining at joint A are AB and AD. And now if we apply summation Fx equal to 0 at joint A, then what we have is 20 kilonewton reaction, which is in a negative direction. So necessarily force in member AD must be opposite to that for equilibrium at joint A. So that will be just 20 kilonewton tension, and that will be something like as shown in this diagram. Okay. So if we go further and if we apply summation Fy equal to 0 at joint A, then what we will be getting is the member force in member AB, and again that 1.67 kilonewton reaction at joint A is downward. So the force in member AB must be upward at joint A. So that gives us member force AB as 1.67 kilonewton, and again that will be tension. So further we can go for analysis of structure considering joint C. Instead of going at joint B, if we go for joint C, at joint C we have two externally applied forces, one is horizontal and another is vertical. And as this inclined member is removed, so one member is horizontal, another member is vertical. So just if we apply method of joints and consider joint C, and if we apply summation Fx equal to 0, then the member force in member BC, that must be opposite to that 10 kilonewton applied force. So that gives us member force in member CB as 10 kilonewton tension, as well as if we apply summation Fy equal to 0 at joint C, then there is a 25 kilonewton downward force, and then internally developing force in member CD at joint C must be upward, and that must also be 25 kilonewton for equilibrium at joint C. So if we consider that summation Fy equal to 0, then FCD becomes 25 kilonewton, and as it is upward, that gives compression. Now, knowing these four member forces, now unknown is member force in member BD. So, considering joint D, and if we apply summation Fx equal to 0, so that angle, if it is calculated with AB is 4 meter, it is given, and distance AD is 3 meter. So what will be the angle between BDA, that is 53.13 degree. So what must be FBD member force? If we consider the component of that member force in member BD, if we consider that, then that must be equal to 20 kilonewton. So what equation will be? Equation will be FBD cos 53.13 minus 20 must be equal to 0. So that gives FBD as 20 divided by cos 53.13, and that gives us the member force as 33.33 kilonewton, and that is compression. So that is written in that diagram. Then again, if we go for further calculation, given structure, that member force in that member AC is actually there, and it was removed to convert that structure into basic determinate structure. So now what we will be going for is to find true member forces in actual truss. Using unit load method, the member force due to unit force applied at member CA will be as follows. So that diagram is drawn over here. So that member AC that was removed to convert that given structure, original structure, into a basic determinate structure. And these internal member forces are calculated earlier in basic determinate structure. But in original structure, member AC is there, existing there. So now we'll be applying unit force at that particular member, and again we'll be calculating what of the member forces due to that unit force. So now again, if we consider joint C over here, and if we apply summation Fx equal to 0, then what we'll be having is member force in member BC over here, and now FBC, and then horizontal component of this unit force applied at member CA. So FCB is horizontal, and FCA cos of 53.13, that total must be equal to 0. So FCB becomes 1 multiplied with cos of 53.13, and that calculation gives us 0.6, and that is compression. So that is written in the diagram. And then if we apply summation Fy equal to 0, then what it should give us is vertical member force in member CD, and that will be FCD, and minus 1, that is unit force, and its vertical component, that is 1 sine 53.13, that must be equal to 0. So FCD must be equal to 1 into sine 53.13, and that gives us 0.8, and that is again compression. So if we go further, and if we consider joint D at this position, if we consider joint D, then at joint D, if we apply summation Fy equal to 0 initially, we will be in position to find the member force in member BD. Then the equation will become FBD sine 53.13, that is one component of FBD, that is member force in BD member, and the vertical force in member CD is 0.8. So the equation will become FBD sine 53.13 minus 0.8 must be equal to 0. So FBD then becomes 0.8 divided by sine 53.13, and that gives 1, and that becomes tension. So now if we go further by applying summation fx equal to 0 again at joint D itself, so we will be having horizontal component of member force in member BD. So that will be FBD cos 53.13 or 1 cos 53.13, and FAD will be as it is. So equation will become FAD minus FBD cos 53.13 equal to 0. So it will give us FAD as 1 multiplied by cos 53.13, and that again gives us value 0.6, and that is compression. So if we go further and if we consider joint B, and at joint B if we apply summation Fy equal to 0, so we have FBD at joint B. So the vertical component of that will become 1 with sine 53.13, and that is downward, so that will be minus. And initially if we consider the member force in BA is again tension, then that equation will become FAB or minus FAB minus FBD sine 53.13 must be equal to 0, or that gives us equation as FBA equal to sine 53.13 with one value of member force BD, and that will become 0.8, and that will be compression. So now with these two calculations, what we can calculate is actually what are the member forces in the indeterminate structure. So second part of the numerical is to find the vertical deflection at joint C. So now we need to apply unit load at that particular position, and we need to go for further calculations. So to find vertical deflection at joint C, applying vertical unit load at C, the internal member forces in basic determinate structure will be calculated. So that will be something like this. So what we are doing is we are applying unit load over here where the vertical deflection is to be calculated. And now if we consider joint C by method of joints, and if we apply summation Fy equal to 0 at this particular position, so only member force in member CD will be there, and member force in member CB is horizontal, so that will not be in that equation. So that gives us directly FCD, that must be opposite to the unit load applied, and that is 1, and that is compression. And if we consider summation Fx equal to 0, there is nothing in horizontal direction at joint C, so FCB becomes 0. And if we go further for complete analysis, in all members the member forces will be 0. So now if we go through that table, so what this complete table is, first is the members, second column is regarding the member forces due to applied external forces in basic determinate structure, so that is second column. Third column is the member forces in the basic determinate structure when unit load is applied at the member which is removed to convert that original structure into basic determinate structure. Then this column number 4 is small n1 dash, that is for the member forces due to unit load applied at the position where deflection is required to be calculated. So that is written over here in column 4. Column 5 is regarding length, and then in column 6, that is n1 n dash l. So that is multiplication of column 2, column 3, and column 4. So that gives us n1 n dash l, and then next column is n1 square l, that is n1 n1 l. So that is regarding this column itself, that is column number 3, and then in next column it is with n1 dash n dash l. So this is regarding this column n1 dash, that is column number 4 multiplied with column number 3 and column number 5, that is length. So that will be this calculation. And then what is is calculated is capital N, that is final member forces in force due to external forces. So internal forces, final member internal forces due to external forces, because in column 2 whatsoever internal member forces are calculated which were due to the applied external forces, but it is in basic determinate structure, and in original structure we have that member AC which was cut to convert that that given structure into basic determinate structure. So this column N is for final member internal forces due to external forces, and that term is written over here in this column, and that T term is calculated over here as shown as T is equal to summation of N1 N dash L. So N1 N dash L, that column was calculated, and sum of that is written over here, and that is divided by N1 square L. So N1 square L, that was done in this column. So that is the summation of that is 17.28. So that calculation gives us the term T, which we have discussed earlier in one of the numerical number 4. We have discussed what this T is and what this K is. So after that, this T and K is calculated, and then that gives us final member internal forces due to external forces in given original structure, and then this column small n is final member internal forces due to unit load applied for deflection. So it is due to that, and then we will be getting this column, and then to find the deflection. So again, as usual, we have this summation N and L divided by A. So that gives us this 18.94 into 10 to the power 6, that term is, and divided by AE as it is. So that gives us total deflection as 0.12 mm. So that is deflection at C due to externally applied forces. So that was the discussion regarding how to go for analysis of indeterminate truss using unit load method to find either horizontal deflection or vertical deflection at a particular joint. So that was the discussion regarding this lecture. I am concluding this lecture with this discussion. Thank you all.